camera will work, and Ian, if your camera will work, that'd be awesome. Aaron, you might be muted because I see your lips moving and no sound coming out, but
okay, that's
it doesn't
weird.
show you as muted. It is weird. Okay, now I can hear you. Actually, strange. So if you just scroll your mouse down to the bottom of the screen, there should be a, don't hit the red thing, that's hang up. It should look like an old-fashioned microphone. Okay, we are live. Good evening and welcome to the 2020 induction of the Yellow Springs High School chapter of the National Honor Society. My name's Dave Smith. I'm the advisor to NHS, and we normally do this in person up at the high school. It's beautiful weather for it tonight. Would have been great. We really wanted to try to capture some of the special aspects of our induction. And so we have with us today all the current senior members of NHS who were inducted last year, helping with our induction ceremony, and all the new juniors and seniors who are being inducted this year. So thank you for being part of this. I've added the names of all these new students to the book. And the book, I don't know if you knew that they made spiral-bound books back in 1938, but indeed, Bryan High School was the high school at the time that had the first affiliation with the National Honor Society. And in that, in 1938, was inducted the first member of our chapter of NHS, Richard Liming. And there are notes from whoever the advisor was back in the day saying that he got his Bachelor's of Arts at Miami and his Master's in Public Administration from Harvard in 1947, did grad work at OSU and became a professor at Wittenberg. And the names kind of continue on page after page. Kind of sadly, his younger brother, who was inducted the next year, there's a note that was added after the fact saying he was actually killed in action during World War II. There are amazing names in this list, some that you'll recognize. And I'm saying this for the sake of the new students being inducted to understand the honorable group of people that you're joining. Names like Alexander, these are last names. A lot of students at the school recognize in 1941 was inducted Charlotte Drake. There are Hamiltons, Grodys, Lurbas, Baldwins, Perry Stewart, who adults in town will know managed the bank in town and has been involved in so many civic organizations over the years, was inducted. There are DeWines, Champneys, Beans, Richard Gould, who if you Google him, was a professor of sociology at Brown University. Last name Dallas, Dixon, Colbert, Crandall, Zopf, Sykes, Talecki, Funderburg, Beery, Murray, Silverman, Hyde, Klein, Rice, McConville, Bechtel, Hammond, Hardman, McQueen, Pitstick, the Eastmans. In 1965 was inducted Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes is a driver behind what's called the 50th Class Reunion Scholarship that some of the seniors applied for this year. Rothmans, Jenny Copperthwaite, who manages the Little Art Theater, is a National Honor Society member from our high school. Verneau, Kaywood, Valentine, Barandani, McCullough, Hergesheimer, McElhardy. A lot of these people, upon graduating from Yellow Springs High School after their induction in NHS, went off to college, in many cases grad school, med school, other professional school, and many came back to town, had families, raised their children here, and contributed in so many ways and are really part of the fabric of Yellow Springs, Ohio. You're joining this rich tradition, new inductees and our current seniors, of really rich contribution. We're honoring tonight your excelling in scholarship, leadership, service, and character. And as you look at the names of those people that I just read, the adults in town are saying, yeah, they completely typify that, exemplify that, and we're super proud to induct you and saying that you, in fact, exemplify that as well. National Honor Society chapters across the country have some traditions that are the same among them at their inductions. and then others that are unique to the schools. We're going to begin with some of that tradition, and this is going to involve 5 of the new inductees. One will be reading a poem called The Candle, which when you hear it, you might shake your head and say, well, it's a little old-fashioned, maybe a little hokey. But when you listen to it with an open heart, you'll say, you know what, that is actually incredibly sweet, and it really is kind of perfect for this ceremony. Following that poem will be 4 students reading about those 4 pillars of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. The first of those I'd like to ask now to begin the speaking is Ariel Johnson, who is going to read the poem called The Candle. Ariel. You have to unmic, or you have to make sure you unmute. Thank
you. A candle is but a simple thing. It starts with just a bit of string. Yet dipped and dipped with a patient hand, it gathers wax upon the strand. Until complete and ever bright, it gives at last a lovely light. Life seems so like that piece of string. Each deed we do, a simple thing. Yet day by day, if on life's strand, we work with patient heart and hand, it gathers joy, makes dark days bright, and gives at last a lovely light.
Thank you, Ariel. Next is Galen Seek, who's going to speak about scholarship.
I light the candle of scholarship. We are all taught from an early age that scholarship is important. It's what gets us good grades and allows us to succeed in life. But what does scholarship really mean? A simple Google search returns several definitions along the lines of academic study or learning of a high level. But I contend that none of these definitions really get at the heart of what scholarship is about. While they may provide a surface level understanding of what it means to practice scholarship, the true meaning of scholarship lies in why we practice it. So the question becomes, why do we practice scholarship? While there are many motivations for studying and working hard, all of them can be boiled down to a thirst for knowledge. Now, this thirst can start for any number of reasons. It could be that a scholar wants to succeed professionally and attempts to gain the knowledge necessary to do that, or it could be that a scholar is on a hunt for self-actualization, meaning they learn to create the best version of themselves. Whatever unique reasons motivate a scholar, what scholars have in common is a want for knowledge as the driving force behind their scholarship. With this in mind, I offer different definitions of scholarship. Scholarship is the work put into gaining that knowledge that allows one to succeed at something. Understanding scholarship in this way allows us to examine why scholarship, and thus the want for knowledge, matter. Knowledge is the foundation of any modern society. Any advancements in engineering, medicine, chemistry, or whatever require knowledge, which can only be gained through scholarship. That is why, in its best form, scholarship is a great help to any institution. For example, scholarship is what made this induction possible. It created the computers we're working on, the networks we're using to stream this, and even Google Meets. The hard work of previous scholars has allowed us, as students, to continue our scholarship, even in the face of a pandemic that shut down most of the country. So, in essence, scholarship is important because it moves society forward, and that is why we embrace it. The understanding that true scholarship is a necessity for advancements is why we have things like public schools and institutions like the National Honor Society. They exist to encourage and reward scholarship so that we as a society move forward. And that is why it is important that those of us here today have worked hard and have striven for knowledge, because we are the next generation of scholars that will bring about the next phase of our global society. We will face a lot of challenges, from climate change, wars, recovering from this current pandemic, and even more, which makes the need for good scholarship in our generation even more pressing. Our thirst for knowledge, our scholarship, will help us face them. Scholarship is the foundation of our society and the current upon which all innovation is propelled, and most importantly, it is something that all of us in NHS embody. Thank you.
Thank you, Galen. Next is Hanifa Jones on leadership.
I light the candle of leadership. Leadership is something that is sought after by many and a role that is often filled by the wrong filler. To me, good leadership is achieved when a leader can guide others while being in a position where they are equal to their disciples, because no one likes to be led by someone who feels entitled. This is often how leadership is followed through and only results in failure. Driven, supportive, confident, an example, a teammate, a good decision maker, and someone you know you can count on. These are the first things that come to mind when I ask my peers what traits they feel describe leadership. Leadership is not a dictatorship. Leadership is a friendship, and it is the courage to take charge. All of us exhibit leadership qualities in our own way. For example, Izzy is driven to her goals in every class and every assignment. She gives 100% effort, which inspires me to do the same. Ariel radiates confidence and support, which is important for achieving goals. Liam is someone you can always count on because of his attentive nature. On the field, Spencer showed how to lead with partnership and make decisions. We encourage and embrace these qualities because we need them to grow and get through our hardships. Yellow Springs High School is a unique environment that fosters independence and leadership in every student, which helps us thrive to our greatest potential. These qualities are used throughout the rest of our lives. Being inducted into the NHS is the beginning for us. This honor gives us the initiative to be leaders in our classrooms and our communities. I miss seeing leadership on the field, the court, and in the classroom because leadership is the ultimate motivation. The future is uncertain, but nonetheless, we are determined to keep pushing and build a beautiful future. To quote our supreme leader, "You're going to think anyway, so why not think big?"
Thank you, Hanifa. Next is Kayla Ross on service.
I light the candle of service. I am Kayla Ross, and I'm honored to be speaking to you tonight about the importance of service. I would first like to congratulate all my fellow inductees on this great achievement and thank the administration for their efforts in allowing us to gather for this virtual ceremony. The National Honor Society was founded in 1921, so it is exciting to think some of us will be graduating on the 100th anniversary of this great organization. For 100 years, the National Honor Society has emphasized to its members the importance of service. Service is the work or action of helping that serves others. Service can be provided in many different ways. Basically, if we see someone or something in need, we can offer to help. Service is one of the easiest ways for us to make our community, nation, and world a better place. As students, we can offer creative ways to serve others. Growing up, our parents, family, and teachers encouraged us to help others. I was also taught the important role individuals can play to make a difference. When I was 5, my mom and I went to our local community playground. The equipment was over 40 years old and needed replaced. We talked about how nice a new playground would be for everyone to use. Our family didn't have a lot of money, but reached out to the city to see if we could raise money for the project. Although I was only 5, I helped to complete this project. For hours, I helped roll coins to take to the bank that had been donated by our local mall from their fountains. Once the money was raised, I helped pick out the playground equipment and even went to a quarry to pick out the boulders that were to be plaque holders to recognize our donors. This is an example of seeing the need and how ideas from individuals can result in solving an issue and bettering an entire community. President John F. Kennedy once said, "If not us, who? If not now, when?" Every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. President Kennedy always encouraged all citizens to step up and take responsibility to better ourselves, our community, and our country. He believed that problems cannot be solved if someone doesn't try to solve them. Our country was built by people who are passionate about serving their community and making life better for others. This is not always an easy task, but one that is very rewarding, especially in this difficult time for our school, community, and country. There are plenty of people and organizations in need. I encourage all of us to continue to serve others. We can and will make a difference. 100 years ago, the National Honor Society created an organization based on a foundation of 4 pillars: leadership, scholarship, character, and service. To complete our educational growth, all of us selected have demonstrated that we believe in those 4 pillars. As we explore ways to continue to grow in these areas, we should look at our service to others as a great opportunity. We can learn skills and great life lessons by serving others. Service can be simple as opening a door for someone, picking up trash, volunteering, helping to fundraise, or doing something to bring awareness or make a difference. We have an opportunity to also make a lasting difference in the lives of others if we use our skills and creativity. When I helped with the community playground project, I didn't realize until later the impact the project had on many people. When I go back to my hometown and see hundreds of people using the facility, I completely understand that one person's efforts can make and does make a difference. I will conclude by quoting the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Everybody can be great because anybody can serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Next is Griffin Roberts, speaking on character.
I light the candle of character. There we go. Character to me, in the simplest of terms, has always been being honest, sticking to what you believe is right, and striving for the greater good of things. However, character can be a very hard thing to define. If I'm being honest, I spent days going back and forth thinking to myself, what can I even say about character? Be nice to people and be honest? Sure, that may not be wrong per se, but it felt inadequate. The harder I thought about what exactly it could be boiled down to, the more frustrated I got. After sitting down with my family and asking for advice, though, I realized that character is a whole myriad of things. Character is sort of an abstract way of saying moral code, what you believe in. This can manifest itself in so many different ways, from interacting with peers, fostering healthy relationships, and holding each other accountable. I believe good character is the most important at the individual level, as this is what allows this is what allows good character to flourish in large groups. At this small scale, good character could be treating one another with respect, doing things that need to be done without being told to, or encouraging peers in their work. For a student, good character is more or less being the change you wish to see in the world. On an institutional level, good character still stems from the individual. Respect between groups and individuals and institutions allows for the institution to be the most effective. While you don't have to be all buddy-buddy with your teacher and get Starbucks with them every Saturday at noon, just common courtesy and connecting with one another is more than enough. Healthy relationships between individuals translates into a healthy work environment. In our case, learning becomes far more natural and free-form. While order is still needed, good character can allow for relaxed rules coming from the common trust between everyone. Good character can manifest itself in entire communities and leads to a feeling of connectedness with one another. It leads to a certain standard that people must follow for the betterment of everybody. Good character also leads to holding each other accountable. If everyone is held to a certain standard, then people are far quicker to call you out for anything that is to someone's detriment. With respect between parties, this can often be done in a very healthy way that is beneficial for all. Good character serves for the betterment of everyone and is something that we should all strive for. So, how can one strive towards better character? Nobody is perfect. However, it is always good to treat things with respect, whether it be people you meet, classes you have, or even more intangible things, like having a good work ethic and fostering better work environments. Being inducted into the NHS in the first place means that all of us here have exhibited good character to some extent. Remote learning has been a pretty hard thing to adjust to for a lot of us, and I think that everyone pushing through with it regardless says a lot about our character. Though I couldn't come up with a satisfactory definition of character for the life of me, I think that all of us have shown good character and will continue to do so in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of our speakers. So now we move into the part where we induct our new members. We're going to start with the new seniors. You'll notice that we're approaching this alphabetically, so Sean Adams, you're going to be the first one. Sean, if you would like to unmute your mic. We're actually going to get help on all of these inductions from the senior members. And so, Riley, if you'd like to unmute your mic as well. Sean, Riley's going to help induct you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sean, you have always been one of the people who can make me laugh without fail. And the better I got to know you, I found out that you're also extremely kind, caring, and intelligent. One thing that has always amazed me is your ability to cause a room to erupt into laughter or erupt in applause over the fact that it's game day. You have been an amazing classmate since elementary school, and I'm so happy to induct you into the National Honor Society.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Sean, and thank you, Riley. The next new senior, and Sean, you can go ahead and mute now if you like. The next new senior, JJ Bledsoe, and helping with this induction is Mr. Sam Nielsen, if you'd both like to unmute.
All right. JJ, I'm glad you are being inducted into the National Honor Society this year because it means I get to write a speech about you. There aren't too many specific things for me to talk about since most of what we do is just sit around and talk, but I think that's a good thing. It's hard to find people that you can just have a conversation with for a few hours day after day without repeating topics or getting bored. You listen well and you talk well too. I don't feel like our conversations are insubstantial. I always feel satisfied after talking with you, like it was a worthwhile experience. I feel like that's a pretty special thing, not something that just anyone can do. Of course, it's just my perspective, but that's kind of the point of this speech, isn't it? As far as I can see, you're a thoughtful person and someone who can gauge reality fairly well. I often use your reactions to decide for myself if something is reasonable. If you think I'm being stupid, you tell me, at least some of the time. And even if it's just my perception, you seem to be able to decide what you think is right and what you think is wrong. And I admire that. I'm glad to be your friend. I'm excited that you got into the college you wanted. And as I feel almost obliged to say, it is my honor to welcome you to the National Honor Society.
Thanks, Sam.
Congratulations, JJ. Thank you, Sam. Next new senior is Evelyn Potter, being inducted with the help of Naya Brevik. If you could both unmute.
Okay, I have a very special connection to Evelyn, as she is not only my best friend, but also my future roommate at Ohio University, where we will hopefully start next fall. She's incredibly kind and one of the smartest people I know. And on my first day of school, she instantly welcomed me with open arms, and I knew she'd be one of my closest friends. Since that time, we have grown closer, and I've seen her dedication to academics, extracurriculars, and her community. She serves as a role model for not only myself, but her younger sister Talia, and everyone who gets the privilege to know her. Somehow she manages to balance numerous AP classes, college classes, school activities such as being senior class vice president, and out-of-school volunteer projects like mentoring young children in the community. I've seen her intelligence shine through in numerous Starbucks study sessions where we brainstorm ideas and edit each other's papers, and late-night phone calls where we try to motivate each other to get our work done. On multiple occasions, she has told me that she works hard in school not for herself, but because she wants to become a doctor to help those who are less fortunate. I feel so honored to have gotten to know her so young and to be able to share the next few years with her in college, as I have zero doubt she'll be one of the top names in medicine. And I'm really honored to welcome her to NHS.
Thank you, Naya.
Congratulations, Evelyn, and thank you, Naya. Our next senior to be inducted is Abini Schindel, being inducted with the help of Olivia Snoddy. If you'd like to both unmute.
To figure out how to do it. All right. Abini is one of the most kind people I have ever met. Though I was not able to get to know her very well throughout high school, I never saw her back down from making new friends. She was open to talk with anyone. Abini was always looking to improve her work through peer critique and thorough review. This habit of improvement and her achievement of academic excellence in her classes makes Abini the perfect candidate for the National Honor Society at Yellow Springs High School. I'm very happy to welcome her.
Congratulations, Abini. Thank you, Olivia. And our last senior to be inducted this year is Spencer, being inducted with the help of Lucy Anderson. If you could both unmute.
Having been a classmate of Spencer's since first grade, I can strongly attest to her work ethic. She commits to everything she does, be it academic or extracurricular. She has done softball, soccer, and bowling, and this year alone took 2 AP classes, all while maintaining a busy job at Dino's. Soccer in particular is something she's had a passion for from a young age. One of her teammates described her as both a natural leader and a helper. I've taken several AP classes with her this year and couldn't help but admire how put together and organized of a student she is. Her teachers describe her as bright, mature, hardworking, and consistently someone you can rely on. She made last year's chessboard PBL for Miss Holly's class possible by bringing in sewing machines. One teacher in particular said, "Spencer is someone who I could always trust and is always thinking of others." Personally, I have endless respect for her dedication and can think a few better people to join the NHS. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lucy.
Congratulations, Spencer. Thank you, Lucy.
Yeah.
Moving on now to our new juniors. Finn Bledsoe is being inducted with the help of Vaughn Hendrickson. If you can both unmute.
I'm happy to induct Finn into the NHS because he's an outstanding friend and an even better student. Finn is a great candidate for the NHS because he excels in good character towards all that he encounters, and I remember one day after school, we went and got speedy freezes and then went to the library to work on AP Calc. He had a congratulations, Finn, on being inducted into the NHS.
Thank you, Vaughn.
Congratulations, Finn. Thank you, Vaughn. Next is Izzy Ellis, being inducted with the help of Tyler Linkhart.
I've always known Izzy just because we've always gone to the same school, but I was lucky enough to get to become friends with her when we started playing basketball together a few years ago when we had math class together. Izzy always helped me out when I was having trouble or didn't understand something, yet I noticed it wasn't just me, but she would help anyone out, friend or not. One of her most admirable traits is how she can always make you smile or laugh when you're talking to her, no matter what it's about. It's obvious Izzy is smart, but more importantly, she's a kind person and fun to be around. Because of these traits, I have no doubt that she will be successful at anything she sets her mind to. Congratulations on being inducted into the National Honor Society.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Izzy, and thank you, Tyler. Next is Natalie Galarza, being inducted with the help of Riley Duncan. You just have to unmute. There we go.
I know, it was being frustrating. Okay. Natalie, when I first met you at a school forest work day, I was immediately amazed by your kindness and positivity. Sadly, I never had the pleasure of being in a class with you, but I've had many conversations with you, and every single one made me somehow feel uplifted. I've seen how teachers, your friends, and other students interact with you, and it's so clear to everyone that you're an amazing student and such a positive presence in the school and the community. It is my honor to induct you into the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Riley.
Congratulations, Natalie, and thank you, Riley. Next is Liam Hackett, being inducted with the help of Philip Diamond.
First of all, Liam is an outstanding scholar, someone who can motivate themselves to go above and beyond what is required in the classroom in order to achieve their goals. In only his second year of high school, Liam studied for probably more than 24 hours total for the AP Physics test, a fact that was duly represented by his resulting score. Beyond this, Liam adds the value of the education of those around him, including me. In AP Chemistry, he was always willing to provide insights if I was confused, and was always asking questions if he didn't understand something. He's a great person to talk about confusing or difficult topics with, and he is always open for discussion. I have also had the pleasure of running track with Liam, where he displayed perseverance, toughness, kindness, and also speed. I'm delighted to welcome Liam into the National Honor Society, and he most definitely deserves it.
Thank you, Philip.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Liam, and thank you, Philip. Next is Priscilla Haddep, being inducted with the help of Zoe Clark.
Priscilla, you have been so hardworking over these past 3 years to keep up a high GPA and wonderful academic standing, while also doing extracurricular activities such as pep band. You're one of the smartest people I know, and you have been an amazing friend for as long as I can remember. You always face a challenge head-on, and you're always there for your friends. You have a wonderful sense of humor and a lovely smile, and you have always been there for others. You are a wonderful friend who has taught me so much about how to be a better flute player, and have always put a smile on my face. You are so incredibly smart and you have a bright future ahead of you, and I'm so happy to welcome you into the National Honor Society.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Priscilla, and thank you, Zoe. Next is Ariel Johnson, being inducted with the help of Lucy Anderson.
Ariel is the type of person who others look to as a primary example of what it means to be a dedicated student. She is reserved and humble, but even so, her intelligence always shines through, especially given that she is juggling multiple AP classes this year as a junior. One teacher mentioned her innate ability to use empathy as a way to fuel connection, with a special talent of helping others, whether in the classroom or on the theater stage. Despite excelling in math, she also has an affinity for the arts. She's not only a virtuoso on the violin, but also put on a show-stopping performance as Juliet in our school production of Romeo and Juliet. Another teacher said, "She is one of the nicest people you could ever know." And having taken calculus and French with her this year, I can corroborate this. Ariel is truly an outstanding person and could not deserve this acceptance more. Congratulations and all the best wishes for your senior year.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Ariel, and thank you so much, Lucy. Next is Hanifa Jones, being inducted with the help of Tyler Linkart.
It is my pleasure to welcome Hanifa into the National Honor Society. Over the past 3 years, I've gotten to know Hanifa through sports and having some of the same classes. We first became close because for half a school year, we spent 2 hours after school every day with each other, either playing volleyball or soccer or basketball. I've always known Hanifa as being athletic, but once we became closer, I quickly realized she's just as good of a student as she is an athlete. But what makes Hanifa an amazing person is her dedication to not only making the world around us a better place, but our school too. By being in United Student Society and being a great role model for younger generations. Hanifa is very deserving of this award, not just because she has the grades, but because of the great person she is too. Congratulations, Hanifa, on being inducted into the National Honor Society. I am so proud.
Thank you, Tyler.
Congratulations, Hanifa, and thank you, Tyler. Next is Sam Lewis, being inducted with the help of Vaughn Hendrickson. And you just, Vaughn, you've got to unmute.
I'm happy to induct Sam into the NHS because he is a great student and his positivity on the soccer field always impressed me. Sam stands out in a group not only because of his height when he's not slouching, but his leading personality and always leading people in the right direction. I remember after a hard game where Sam scored an own goal at McDonald's, we were reminded that at the beginning of the season, he said if he scored, he would shave his head. Congrats, Sam.
Thanks, Vaughn. Appreciate it.
Congratulations, Sam, and thank you, Vaughn. Next up is Anna Miller. She's being inducted with the help of Zoe Clark.
Anna, I know that you've worked so hard these past 3 years because you are going to be graduating a year early. And you've managed to keep a wonderful GPA and great academic standing. And you have managed to do this all while doing different things such as cheer and theater. It has been a privilege to see you grow in theater from being a regular member of the cast to being a kick-butt lead in Girls Like That, moving the audience to feel triumph for Scarlett. It was also wonderful to watch you grow and take charge as stage manager and make sure everything was running smoothly. You have such a bright future and you deserve to be here, and it is my honor to welcome you to the National Honor Society.
Thank you so much.
Oops. Congratulations, Anna. Thank you, Zoe. Next is Griffin Roberts, being inducted with the help of Philip Diamond.
Griffin Roberts is an amazing man. In his daily life, he mixes academic knowledge with humor, so you'll always exit a conversation with him laughing, but also having learned something. He has quickly furthered his education into the college realm, taking more college credit plus classes this year than regular high school classes. Despite not being in high school very often, he is still present socially, and his social media posts are some of the most cool and creative and funny that I've ever seen. Griffin is also a dedicated athlete, running cross country and track every year. I had a great time running track this season with Griffin, and I can personally attest to the fact that he kicked butt during every track practice of this year's short season. He's also the undisputed champion of Mr. Gudgell's Geography and History track trivia. Overall, Griffin brings a smile to all people who meet him and is destined for academic greatness. I'm honored to induct him into the National Honor Society.
Unmuted. Can't tell. Thank you, Philip.
You're welcome. Congratulations, Griffin, and thank you, Philip. Next is Emma Ronnebaum, who's going to be inducted with the help of Olivia Snoddy.
Okay. Right. I've known Emma since I was in the 8th grade on the middle school volleyball team. Right away, I could tell that she was a dedicated person that was willing to put in any hard work necessary to achieve her goal. Emma is an excellent leader, too. She was always willing to help a teammate out if they were struggling and would help to improve them. Through her exemplary leadership, steady years of difficult courses, and extracurriculars such as robotics, Emma was able to maintain an outstanding GPA. Emma has displayed the same level of commitment that I saw in 8th grade to her academics, making it a privilege for me to welcome her into the National Honor Society at Yellow Springs School.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Emma, and thank you, Olivia. Next is Kayla Ross, being inducted with the help of Samaya Chappelle. Sumaya might be frozen. Let's wait a second and see if that unsticks itself. Sumaya, if you can just click the microphone at the bottom, it might let you talk. Okay, we're going to hold on for a little bit while we solve some technical difficulties. Kayla, hold tight. We're going to let Samaya try to reconnect. Samaya, maybe leaving the meeting and coming back in will help solve it. And we're going to move to our next person. And that's Ian Shirk.
Oh.
Now, there we are.
Does it work?
It's working.
Do you hear
Hold
me?
on. We do.
Okay. All right. Kayla Ross. You're a cool cat, Kayla. You're quiet, but you are on top of your game. You're very sharp with the books as well as the ball. You're all over the place. Way to represent. Thank you. Keep doing you for you. Keep doing you for no one else but you, as always. Congratulations. You are honored. Welcome to the society.
Thank you, Samaya.
You're welcome.
Congratulations, Kayla, and thank you, Samaya. Along the lines of technical difficulties, Abby McInerney keeps getting kicked out. She's been texting through it, and the solution that she came up with was to share her speech with Tyler and with Olivia. So the person that she's helping to induct is Ian Shirk, and speaking for Abby is, surprise me.
It's me. So sorry if this is a little rusty. Ian has been a good friend of mine for about 3 years. I've gotten to witness firsthand what kind of person, student, and athlete Ian is. Ian and I became friends during the tennis season his freshman year. It was very obvious right away that he is a great tennis player. Not only is he a talented player, but he possesses great sportsmanship. Ian always maintains a positive attitude no matter the outcome of the match and always has a smile on his face. I've also been in many classes with Ian, and I've gotten to witness him as a student. It was no surprise to me to see Ian's amazing work ethic and comprehension of class material. He not only consistently displays a great understanding of topics discussed in class, but he goes out of his way to help others who may be struggling with the same topics. His previous year in AP Chemistry, Ian has helped me repeatedly to thoroughly understand topics and perform well on tests.
Congratulations, Ian. Thank you, Abby, and Tyler. Thank you for stepping up. Next is Galen Seek, being inducted with the help of Samaya Chappelle.
Kaylin, of the snub that I've been able to observe throughout these couple of years, what I have come to know is this: you are brilliant. And I marvel at that. You are a true student, not only in the classroom, but a true student of life. I see you, an ambitious learner, wise, tame, eager to grow, expand, and share, and enlighten. That's what life is asking of us, you know. Knowledge is power, and you, my friend, are powerful. I'm very pleased to induct you, Galen. I cannot think of anyone else more qualified. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Congratulations, Galen. Thank you, Samaya. Next is Samantha Snyder, being inducted with the help of Naya Brevik.
Okay. Samantha is one of the most dedicated and hardworking people I know. I've had the privilege of working with her on multiple class assignments, and I'm always assured that we will do well because I see how much time and effort she puts into each and every assignment. Additionally, she is always there to work through whatever complex math homework we have that day or whatever brain-numbing French section I can never seem to grasp. She is always willing to go the extra mile, not only in her schoolwork, but also in her extracurriculars. I have worked alongside her in clubs such as Spidey and Student Review Board. In these settings, she is a clear leader, and her intense work ethic always pays off. I know she is also a member of the school forest, where she gets down and dirty in nature. I do not know where exactly life will take Samantha, but I know she will do big things and excel in whichever field she chooses. Congrats, Sam, and I'm so happy to welcome you into the NHS.
Thank you, Naya. That was really sweet.
Congratulations, Samantha, and thank you, Naya. Next is Ivan Spar, being inducted with the help of Sam Nielsen.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
and I never thought I would tell Ivan to unmute.
Okay. Ivan, I'm afraid that until this year, I did not know you as much more than the kid with the afro in the grade below. And that's my loss. You joining the Walking Home group was one of the best developments in the 2019-2020 school year. In addition to that, you were in French and on the bowling team in Jakarta with me, so needless to say, we had a lot of opportunities to interact. And I enjoyed them all. You're a good person to be around and a model Walking Home companion. The comedy switch is pretty much always on with you, and it makes French class very enjoyable, at times to Mr. Smith's dismay. But it's always fun. In addition to being a real jokester, you're pretty smart, a dangerous combination if wielded incorrectly. Luckily, you seem to have a pretty good handle on it. You fit right in at the lunch table, and hanging out with you at bowling is always a good time. I hope you can get the whole gang together and go again sometime. All in all, Spar, you are a real hidden gem among my underclassmen, and it is absolutely my honor to welcome you to the National Honor Society.
Thank you, Samuel Nielsen.
Congratulations, Ivan. Thank you, Sam. And next is Aaron Van Osdale, who is going to be inducted with the words of Abby McInerney, spoken either by Tyler or Olivia.
Will be me this time. Can you hear me? Good. All right. I would like to congratulate Aaron Van Osdale on being inducted into the National Honor Society. Although I do not personally know Erin all that well, she is a diligent student and everyone has always great things to say about her. She has consistently demonstrated great leadership and character throughout school and is a role model to other students. She is a very motivated, hardworking, and dependable student. Erin has displayed a great work ethic in all of her classes and always excels at challenging tasks while encouraging others around her to work hard as well. She is even a team captain for her club soccer team, showing leadership outside of school as well. Erin has displayed so many amazing qualities as a person and a student. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
Congratulations, Erin. Thank you, Olivia, and thank you, Abby. All right, so we practiced this before we went live. It was not pretty, but we're going to do it anyway. So all new inductees, unmute. And we are going to, so everybody has to unmute your microphone if you're a new inductee, please. Still waiting on a couple. Just click on your microphone at the bottom. All right, so all new members, please repeat after me the pledge for induction. Here we go, all together. I pledge myself to uphold.
I pledge myself to uphold
The purpose of the National Honor Society.
the purpose of the
Honor Society.
To which I have been elected.
To which have been elected.
Striving in every way to maintain and encourage.
Striving
in
every way to maintain and encourage.
High standards of scholarship.
High standards of scholarship.
Leadership, service, and character.
Leadership, and character.
In the future, I might choose to do that again, but I'm not 100% sure. But now you're officially in. As the advisor to the Yellow Springs High School chapter of the National Honor Society, I am most proud to welcome all of you as official members of the National Honor Society.
Yeah.
I want to share special thanks with to Mr. Haddard and Dr. Holden for their support, their guidance, and their leadership in this unique time in unprecedented challenges to our education. We're really grateful to them. Thank you as well to the National Honor Society Selection Committee appointed by our principal. That is Elizabeth Lutz, Deanne Holly, Brandon Lowry, John Day, Carlene Materney, who read each student's application and essays and deliberated with heart and chose these fine students for induction. Thanks to all the teachers, grades kindergarten through 12, who have dedicated their lives to the enrichment of all of our students. And a special thanks to all the parents of these students, who from the time their sons and daughters were quite small, read to them, took them to parks, museums, interactive learning environments, exposed them to the arts, encouraged them to play in the dirt, encouraged their participation in a wide range of activities, gave tons of their time in the support of their sons and daughters. I thank students that we can all agree that without the support and guidance of elders in our lives, we would likely not have achieved in the ways we have. Be sure you thank them and share your thanks with them too. Thank you for everybody for your participation. I really appreciate your diligence and working out all the kinks as we prepared for this. This officially concludes our 2020 induction ceremony. Thank you all for attending, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Have a great night.
You too, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.